Hey folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's live trading action video. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Today's date is Tuesday, July 21st, 2015. Alright, we're going to talk about a bunch of things today. Number one, Apple reports earnings after the bell today. The stock is having a small downtick after a massive move to the upside. So again, if you remember, we called for a move down into this target area. And again, this target area not only was the 200 moving average as seen right here, but if you zoom out, it was also this pivot high. Once we got there, we expected Apple to bounce. Apple has continued to bounce higher, basically into resistance, or what we would call a quadruple top here. One pivot, two pivot, three pivot, and now four pivot points. All right, so that leaves us where we're watching earnings and what are they going to ultimately come in at. Based on the chart, this is a tricky one, folks. I would give it a slight negative bias going into earnings. Not only is the chart into resistance up there, but also the S&P 500 and the Qs have hit resistance as well. Let me just show you one of the levels on the Qs that I was talking about here. All right, so let's put this trend line in exactly where we want it. If you take this high right here and connect us to exactly this high, which connects exactly to this high, look at that. So again, what you have to understand is that Apple is a major component of the Qs. It's basically 20-25% of the Qs, if not more. So therefore, if the Qs are into resistance, it would liken us to believe that Apple might be into some major levels. And if the Qs are going to pull back, what is going to be a culprit of that? Probably an Apple pullback. Now listen, I want to make this clear. Nothing's in stone with earnings. All right, Apple is probably going to have great earnings, but I don't expect it to have a blockbuster move up like you saw on Google. A lot different scenario on Google. Google had been in a purgatory for a long period of time. If we take a look at Google, guys, look at this chart on Google. Since 2013, here, you've been in a range on Google. And look at this downsloping, beautiful trend line, which broke out just before earnings. See that? That was very, very important, because it actually had broken out going into earnings. If you look at Apple's chart, has it broken out? No, not at all. It hasn't broken out. So you see the differences there? I think that's very, very important to understand. So again, when responding and looking for what to expect, again, Apple earnings are somewhat of a toss-up, but I would personally favor the downside, a small pullback. Maybe if it's a bigger pullback, the biggest pullback I would expect would be back to about 120. All right, but again, I don't even know if it'll get that. It might only get back to about 125, 126 on a pullback. All right, that's what I'm expecting right now, folks. And again, I just wanted to pass that along to you guys. A couple other things I'm noticing here. Again, it looks like the metals are bouncing. GDX having a big bounce after getting clobbered the last few days, about a 4.5% bounce. The one thing that alerted me, and I pointed this out in a video yesterday, that you were going to see a bounce on the metals was because if you go back here and zoom out on the GLD and connect these lows, look at what you get, guys. We were right into major support. Look at the bounce you've gotten every time you've hit this line. Look at the size of that bounce. Big bounce. And then, therefore, that alludes to the fact that you probably see a pretty big bounce here, too, off of this little level here. Okay, so that was one of them. And then also, if you look at stocks like ABX, which have gotten crushed, if you put in here, and let me just see if I can do this here. If we take this trend line here and just connect it right through, look at that. So you're basically into that same little pivot point, same thing. So a lot of the charts were into major levels, and again, ABX up about 3% today. Not a huge move there, but nonetheless a solid move to the upside. Oil's also getting a little bit of a bid, so we're seeing overall the commodities getting a small bid here today, and that is helping potentially lead to some action that could be a multi-day bounce on the commodities and the commodity stocks. Take a look at U.S. Steel, nice 2% gain there. Freeport-McMoRan, 5% gain there. That's a great move on Freeport-McMoRan today. Other plays that I'm watching, Alcoa has been beaten down, good 13-cent, really only about 1.25% bounce there, but nonetheless getting a bounce. The other area I wanted to point out in this video here briefly is the 3D stocks. They've been in free fall. SSYS bouncing $1 today. Hasn't negated the down move from yesterday, but it's not that far away from doing so. And also 3D, guys. Nice little reversal today on 3D, up about 5%. If this can somehow negate the move down yesterday, let's say close around 15.75, still a ways away, that would be a very bullish engulfing reversal candle. All right, and again, it's still a ways away. It would have to go up another 50 cents in the afternoon session. But again, just something I want to point out to you guys to be on watch. We did 2 day trades today, both profitable. Chesapeake was one of them. I had a major level at a Pierce of 950 today. The low of the day, 940. We bought it there. We made a nice chunk of change. I think about 18 cents on a scalp to the upside there. And also Lexmark, LXK, I had a level down here at 36. approximately 36.50-ish, give or take a little bit. You can see that level here. These little pivot tops right there, and then a pierce of these lows denoted that level, and you can see the bounce you've gotten off of that. So really nice trading in the intraday stock chat. That's day trading, folks. Everything before this on Lexmark and Chesapeake I was talking about is reverting to swing trading, which is in the research center. And again, come join us, guys. Come join the options alerts if you want options trade alerts. We have it here. We have track records. Feel free to view them. Third-party verified. Come join us, guys, and join us in party and make money at inthemoneystocks.com. Take